Hello everyone. Many people are still confused about who Allah is, and whether Allah is the same God as Yahweh in the Bible. So in this video, I will explain everything you need to know about Allah, and in the end you will know that the Allah worshipped by Muslims is definitely not Yahweh in the Bible. So watch this video until the end, okay? Allah is the personal name of the deity in Islam. However, Allah is also used by Christians in Indonesia and some other countries that use Arabic, or borrow from Arabic as a common noun meaning God. Christians argue for using it because the word Allah comes from the words al, meaning the, and ilah, meaning God. So Allah meaning the God. And in fact, Christians were using the word Allah in Arabic long before the emergence of Islam. On the other hand, some Muslims believe that the name Allah does not derive from al-ilah, but rather, it has been a proper name since the time of Adam. We do not need to debate who is correct, but we need to understand that the meaning of the word Allah is different for Islam and Christianity. For Islam, Allah is a proper name, whereas for Christians, Allah is a common noun. Islam believes that Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth, the only one, neither born nor begets. Allah has no partners, but has many enemies. Allah has 99 good names, known as Asmaul Husna. I will not list them all here, because there are too many. Additionally, Allah has 20 obligatory attributes. Namely Wujud meaning exist, Qidam meaning eternity, Baqa meaning everlasting, Mukhalafatuhu lil Hawadisi meaning dissimilarity to creatures, Qiyamu by nafsihi meaning self-sufficiency, Wadaniya meaning oneness, Qudrat meaning power, Iradat meaning will, Ilmu meaning knowledge, Hayat meaning life, Sama meaning hearing, Basar meaning seeing. Kalam meaning speech, Qadran meaning all-powerful, Muradin meaning all-willing, Aliman meaning all-knowing, Hayyan meaning ever-living, Samian meaning all-hearing, Bairan meaning all-seeing, and Mutakalaman meaning all-speaking. According to some hadiths, such as Sunan an-Nasai 5379, it is stated that Allah has two hands, and both are right hands. The Prophet, may Allah honor him and grant him peace, said, "The just and fair people will be with Allah, may he be praised and exalted, on thrones of light, at the right hand of the most merciful, those who are just in their rulings, and in their dealings with their families, and those they lead." Muhammad, one of the narrators, said in his hadith, "And both of his hands are right hands." According to some hadiths, such as Hadith Bukhari 4471 or 4849, it is stated that Allah will place his foot in hell. There is no Islamic source stating that Allah will then remove his foot from hell. It was narrated by some people, raised to the Prophet, though Abu Sufyan received this hadith mostly as mawquf or unraised. It was said to the hellfire, "Are you full?" The hellfire asked, "Is there any more?" Then Allah, blessed and exalted, places his foot upon it, and the hellfire says, "Enough, enough." According to many hadiths, such as Hadith Bukhari 7407, Allah resembles the Dajjal or Antichrist, except that Allah is not blind in one eye. Narrated by Nafi from Abdullah, the Dajjal was mentioned in the presence of the Prophet, may Allah honor him and grant him peace, and he said, "Allah is not hidden from you, indeed, Allah is not one-eyed." And he pointed with his hand to his eye, but the Messiah, the Dajjal, is blind in his right eye, as if his eye is a floating grape. According to the Quran Surah 68 verse 42, on the Day of Judgment, Allah will reveal his shin. Remember the day when the shin will be uncovered, and they will be called to prostrate, but they will not be able to. And according to the Quran Surah 28 verse 88, ultimately everything will perish except the face of Allah. And do not invoke with Allah another deity. There is no deity except him. Everything will be destroyed except his face. His is the judgment, and to him you will be returned. So Allah's two right hands, Allah's shin, and all of Allah's part of body will be perish except his face. Therefore we can conclude that Allah in Islam is different from Allah in Christianity that uses Arabic or borrowed Arabic terms. Allah in Islam is not the Yahweh God found in the Bible. Yahweh in the Bible hates divorce. Malachi 2 verse 16, "For I hate divorce, says the Lord, the God of Israel, and him who covers his garment with violence, says the Lord of hosts. So take heed to your spirit, that you do not deal treacherously." Whereas in the Quran Surah 2 verse 230, Allah not only teaches divorce, but also instructs that if a man says divorce to his wife 3 times, they cannot reunite, unless the woman marries another man, consummates the marriage, and then she is divorced by that man. And if he has divorced her for the 3rd time, then she is not lawful to him afterward, until after she marries a husband other than him. And if the latter husband divorces her or dies, there is no blame upon the woman and her former husband for returning to each other, if they think that they can keep within the limits of Allah. These are the limits of Allah, which he makes clear to the people who know. This clearly contradicts the teachings in both the Old and New Testaments. Deuteronomy 24 verses 1 to 4, "When a man takes a wife and marries her, and it happens that she finds no favor in his eyes, because he has found some indecency in her, and he writes her a certificate of divorce and puts it in her hand, and sends her out from his house, and she leaves his house, and goes and becomes another man's wife. And the latter husband turns against her, and writes her a certificate of divorce and puts it in her hand, and sends her out of his house, or if the latter husband dies, who took her to be his wife, then her former husband who sent her away, is not allowed to take her again to be his wife, since she has been defiled. For that is an abomination before the Lord. And you shall not bring sin on the land, which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance." Matthew 5 verse 32, "But I say to you, that everyone who divorces his wife, except for the reason of unchastity, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman, commits adultery. And he who marries one who is divorced from a husband, commits adultery." Thus Allah who revealed the Quran, is clearly not Yahweh God of the Bible. If we read the Quran, which is said to be a revelation from Allah, we will find that Allah is confused with the timeline in the Bible. In Quran Surah 19 verse 28, Mary the mother of Jesus, is referred to as the sister of Aaron. "O sister of Aaron, Mary, your father was not a man of evil, nor was your mother unchaste." This means the author of the Quran did not understand the history in the Bible. He assumed that Mary the mother of Jesus, was the same person as Miriam, the sister of Moses, simply because their names are similar. However, the time gap between Moses and Jesus is about 1,500 years. There is also the possibility that the author of the Quran thought Jesus and Joshua were the same person. In Quran Surah 7 verse 157 mentions the Torah and the Gospel that are with them, even though the context before and after this verse talks about the time of Moses, indicating that they refers to the people of Moses' time. Those who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whom they find written in what they have of the Torah and the Gospel, who enjoins upon them what is right, and forbids them what is wrong, and makes lawful for them the good things, and prohibits for them the evil, and relieves them of their burden, and the shackles which were upon them. So they who have believed in him, honored him, supported him, and followed the light which was sent down with him. It is those who will be the successful. This implies that the author of the Quran thought the gospel existed during Moses' time. Perhaps the author thought Joshua was the son of Miriam the sister of Moses, and that God sent down a book titled the Torah to Moses, and a book titled the Gospel to Joshua. In addition, there are many verses in the Quran that contradict science. From the numerous Quranic verses that contradict science, here are 3 examples that one shouldn't need to be a professor to understand. According to Quran Surah 18 verse 86, the sun sets in a muddy spring. Until, when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of dark mud, and he found near it a people. We, Allah said, O Dhul-Qarnayn, either you punish them, or adopt among them kindness. According to Quran Surah 86 verse 6 to 7, semen is produced from between the backbone and the ribs. He was created from a fluid, ejected, emerging from between the backbone and the ribs. According to Quran Surah 37 verse 6, stars are in the nearest layer of the sky. Indeed, we have adorned the nearest heaven with an adornment of stars. So, since Muslims believe that the Quran is the word of Allah, the conclusion is either Allah is not all-knowing as they said, or Allah is just an imaginary god of 7th century Arabian people. Well, now you know about Allah, the God of Islam. Therefore, if you find this video useful, give a thumbs up, and share this video as much as possible. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet. Additionally, everything I shared in this video is also written in a book I wrote. There is a lot of other information you can find in my book, and you can get it for free. The way is simply go to the address, bit.ly/howtoanswermuslim. You are free to read, print, share, and even sell it, without needing my permission, or giving me anything. Or if you want to buy the print version of this book, you can go to bit.ly/print-howtoanswermuslim. And if you'd like to support me, you can do it through patreon.com/openbiblica. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.
الله ليس كبير الله ليس كبير واشهد أن هناك الكثير مع الله واشهد أن هناك الكثير مع الله واشهد أن محمدا ليس رسول الله واشهد أن محمدا ليس رسول الله ليس هناك فائدة من الصلاة ليس هناك فائدة من الصلاة وليس نحم النجاة وليس نحم النجاة الله ليس كبيرا الله ليس كبيرا هناك كثيرا جانب الله هناك كثيرا جانب الله